while we're doing it.
All right.
You good to go?
You guys want me to count you in?
Yeah, count me in.
All right. And 3, 2.
You know what I hate about introductions on podcasts?
What's that?
It's like the first day of school.
First day of school.
Stand up. What's your name? Where you from?
Homeroom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the feeling that this camera is right in your face.
Yeah.
Like, how can you have an honest conversation when you know the feds is watching?
The feds always watching.
But for the sake of people knowing who we are, I think we have to have homeroom.
Yeah.
Right? So, who are you?
I mean, I'm Ty-based. People call me Worldwide Ty. From Atlanta. We rolling in season 2.
Yes, sir. So my name is Yo, also Clayton County, Atlanta. And I'm sitting with this man because we have a show called Fuck You Money.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a kid at home, we call it FYM.
Yeah.
But we started Fuck You Money with a company called AMP, and it was live radio.
Yep.
And so let's start with gratitude. Let's say thank you to everybody that tuned in to us at AMP last year.
Yep.
Galene, Kelton, and AMP, thank you guys for just rocking with us. Kayla came through and shot some episodes with us. Nah, came through and shot some episodes with us. So just thank you to everybody that's fucking with Fuck You Money. But now we're rolling into season 2, and we in Miami.
We in Miami.
To start the season off. Why Miami, Ty? What is it about the city that you wanted to get things started here?
Miami is peace for me. It can be unpeaceful for the ones that lack discipline. But Miami, near water is where I get my best ideas. Mm-hmm. And as we spend more time here, you realize you can get better tax rates, so you can have more fucking money. And it's one of those things where this was a place that I first started traveling to when I was trying to get on, because I could afford to come here. There wasn't no other place that was close to Miami that had any type of music going on, because Nashville wasn't more so thinking about black music. Then you think about Miami, you thought about Loop, thought about E-Class, all of those different things. So besides Memphis, and Memphis really wasn't, somewhere where you were going to go to try to get on for music, because people from Memphis was coming to Atlanta. But to be able to get out of the city, Miami was the first place. Miami was the first time I got on Spirit. The last time too.
Do you remember that first trip in Miami? What was your first opinion of the city?
The first time I come to Miami, I had this homie that I met named Rob. He's always let me stay in his crib. And I remember Rob was living in Little Haiti at the time, right? And I had Wealthy with me. She had came down, and we stayed right across the railroad track from the strip club. I can't remember the name of the strip club. But now you in Little Haiti, this is 2009. And so it's dark. We ride, we headed to the crib, we ride by the library. Library got yellow police crowd.
Crime scene.
Yeah. So we get to the crib, boom, boom. Wesley's like, I think we should walk to the store. We're walking to the store in Little Haiti at 10 o'clock at night. You don't know where you at. And so we used to be literally in the hood when we used to visit. Then he eventually moved closer to South Beach. We used to go to this one spot and get these plantains. That was my first time being introduced to Cuban food. First time trying to figure it out. Matter of fact, my first music experience down here was I met these 2 producers named Rock and Maine. And Rock and Maine was producers, this white kid and this black kid. They was friends. PK was working with Luda at the time. They was working on Ludaverse. They had the opening song camp. Down in Miami at Cool and Dre house. And I don't know where their house was at. They probably still got the same house now, but it was on some water, like a lake. And I remember bringing that. PK was like, nah, I got you. Because I'm a manager, producer, trying to hustle and shit. And this had to be like 2008, 2009, maybe 2010. Whenever they was working on Ludaverse.
Yeah, Ludaverse is like 2010.
Right, so this had to be 2009. I think they worked on it for 2 years almost. Bro, but Rock and Maine, they love Pharrell.
Yeah.
So we got down, we at the house. I get in there, they playing the beats for Luda, for Shaka. They playing the beat for Chaka and PK, picking some beats, whatever. DJ Toon was in the living room making beats. Change was down there, just listening to beats. Luda was in one room, Chaka and them had us in the other room. So we sitting on the couch, looking out of the joint, and they see Pharrell walking up. So Rock was like, man, was like, oh my God. I said, y'all motherfuckers better not flip out of here and fan out, nigga. So that's when I first seen Pharrell's process. In Miami, that's when I first seen Pharrell's process.
What did you see?
Pharrell would go in there, he would play the record, he'll be rapping, singing melody, and the artist, like, he'll play the beat and he'll be like, he'll be selling it to you right there. It ain't nothing recorded. It'll be that, right? And so it's so crazy. That was 2009 in Miami.
Yeah.
Cool and Dre house. As I'm telling you this story, we come back in 2021 at a Airbnb or a rented out spot where Brendan Pharrell is cooking up. And literally that's when they did Wasting Time. And Pharrell did the exact same thing.
Same thing, right?
The exact fucking same thing. Played the beat. It was in that motherfucking, and everybody, they just cutting in the room. Oh, then he was just, same exact shit. Damn near, what that, like 17 years later.
You feel like that helps the artist get into it?
I think that's how Pharrell sells his shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Brent used part of that shit that Pharrell was giving him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure Luda used what he was doing at that point, right? But that's something that I noticed about it. Now, all of these are just like, these Miami experiences. And that, like, the first time I met Birdman was in Miami.
You met Birdman in Miami?
Yes, met Birdman at, I think at Hit Factory. That's the name of the studio. Crazy. 2014. Out there. Bitch, you guessed it. Yeah, that was summer 2014. Yeah. So Brandon Thomas crazy ass. Running around chasing Brandon Thomas crazy. I love him, but that nigga was crazy. I'm in Miami with Forte, because Forte was writing, working with Jacquees, helping him write everything, helping Jacquees put together his records or whatever. So I'm in the studio and I get a call for Brandon to go to New York to meet Ye, because Ye wanted to sign him, and Ye brought all the producers to work on the Madonna project, right? Mm-hmm. This is 2014, like October, November. I'm down, Forte's cutting his record with Jacquees, staying in the record. Jacquees and this bitch dancing. He that bitch dancing, spinning around, moonwalk, talking about how he'll eat Chris Brown up and shit. And everybody was just listening to him. And nobody was like believing what he was saying.
He was trying to sell it.
He was like, that motherfucker was gonna be like, God, eat that nigga Chris Brown ass up. Nobody wasn't even laughing. We were just like, that's crazy. And just like, then he'll go away, he'll fall asleep. Forte cut the records. I left Miami to go to New York for the Kanye shit, right? Yeah, like as I'm talking to you, I'm like, damn, that's when fucking met Birdman.
Birdman was there?
Yeah, Birdman came down. Birdman got one of them don't fuck with me energies. Like, you niggas think, yes. P, really? P a little bit more like brighter. Like Birdman shit, like dark, boy. Birdman walking that bitch like, your nephew. He don't even talk, especially because he know none of the niggas in the room. He ain't even talking. You just feel that nigga. You feel that nigga presence in that motherfucker room. But yeah, bro, Miami. First time I met, goddamn. First time I saw Pharrell. Like, he spoke, so I can say I met him, but I ain't really meet him until fucking 20 years later, right? Not 20 years later, like 15 years. But yeah, but then the overall, just as I'm thinking about these different Miami experiences, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, Miami has always been a place that I have made connections that has helped in some way fuel what I was doing. And as I'm talking to you about shit, I'm like, damn, this is crazy as I'm thinking about it, because you know, me and PK in business together, right? That was 2009 when he was like, "Nah, I got you. Just bring him to the studio."
So y'all weren't working together then?
He was just like, that was just a homie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about some shit that was like, you know, we in 2023 now, so that was 14 years ago.
I mean, PK comes up in your story a lot, as far as somebody to introduce you to people.
Yeah.
Then he take you to, what's my man's name that had Crown World?
Yeah, Cersei.
Cersei.
Yeah.
He introduced you to Cersei, who was your first music mentor. Mm-hmm. What is it about PK that you think is just, people are attracted to him too?
I think that just being genuine. Like one of the things that's really important about, in my belief, you start talking about fuck you money, you start talking about removing yourself from things that don't serve you, you start talking about like being a servant to people.
Yeah.
It comes with a certain being genuine and being authentic. I think PK just been one of the people that's always been an authentic person, a genuine person, even when it's at his harm, like even when it's at something that don't really benefit him. It's to his detriment that he's always been like that. So I think for him, you know, those different experiences have like created somebody that people can feel like they can depend on. That's always going to just keep it buck if they give you that word. You know what I mean?
I got you. In the spirit of like you leaving Atlanta to go to Miami, how important is it traveling and making connections outside of your home city to make the connections that's going to get you some fucking money?
I think it's very hard to get fuck you money if you don't travel. Mm-hmm. Not that it's impossible. I think that it puts you in a place where you don't see enough different perspectives. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm not that big of a fan of LA, but LA helped change my life. So I have to respect what the city can offer somebody, and I have to give people the honest opinion. I can't tell them how I feel about LA today. I got to tell them about how I feel about LA when I first landed. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first landed in LA, like when I first, like, you know, I'm moving here. I can't tell them about how I feel about it now because it's going to distract what mission that they potentially can accomplish.
Right. What year did you go to LA to move?
I tried in 2014. That was my first time. It was crazy shit, man. I was like trying to apply for apartments in like the Valley. I kept getting declined. Mm-hmm. But I would see so many Mexicans in the spot. I'm like, but I know my credit better than theirs. But like, I was like, this shit feel like it's slick racism, right? So I went back home to Atlanta to like get my credit. I had literally moved out there. This is when, once again, it's 2014. They had this sneaker shop, this sneaker show in Vegas that Trinidad was performing at, and Forte was performing there as well. So I went out there. I had 2 luggages. So I flew from Atlanta to Vegas, these 2 big ass luggages.
That's your life.
This is my life, these 2 bags. To goddamn fuck with Forte and Trinidad. And then when I left that, then I moved to, I just went to LA with the 2 luggages, like, cause I knew I was gonna be leaving. So that was my first attempt. And my first attempt trying to move to LA, Faye was already out there. So Faye was like, man, just stay with me, man. Like, just come out here. I already got a spot with you. So I was living with Faye. And my first attempt trying to move out there was definitely a failure. Definitely was a failure. But it wasn't a failure because I couldn't move out. It was only a failure because I couldn't get the spot I was trying to get.
Right.
And it was crazy because that year, if I'm not mistaken, that's the same year that we met Drake.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, because Fame had produced his record for Straight Outta. I think it was supposed to be for Straight Outta Compton album or some album Dre done put in the damn graveyard that ain't never gonna come out.
Right.
But it was one of those records, right? So we met Dre that year. Me and Faye had brought me with him. And then that's the same year I met Birdman. That's the same year that I ain't meet Ye, who was in the studio. That's when we went up to the Madonna shit. When I went up there, through my big homie Che Pope, when that was trying to coordinate everything with Ye and Brandon Thomas.
Right.
But BB was there, and I had already knew BB from the summer of 2013.
Really?
Because Rihanna was recording at Jungle Studio with Madonna, and they was on different floors. She was working her album, and BB was there working on the album. I'm like, oh shit, BB, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? This was before bitch wanna have my money. Bitch better have my money.
BB wrote that, right?
Yeah, BB wrote that. But I met BB the summer of 2013 out in LA at FYM House.
Well, let's go back to Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Now you see Dr. Dre, right? This is Beats by Dre, Dr. Dre. This is straight up Compton, Dr. Dre. Do you feel like you're getting closer to whatever you're after?
No, nigga, it wasn't even seeing Dr. Dre that got me close. I'm gonna tell you what fucked up. So in 2007, that's when I met Faye. We got a homie named Dave, right? So Dave sent me this song on YouTube called Happy Meal 2 by the Cardigans. And at the time, I was managing one of my high school friends, Tez McClain. He said, Todd, Tez need to goddamn rap over this. I heard the damn sample. Like, this crazy. I gave it to Tez. Tez like, yo, this shit's nuts. He gave me the Faye. Faye flipped it, right? And Tez wrote on it, rapped on it. I don't know what happened to that record, right? Faye said, I gotta go to the studio with Dre. You should come with me. So we go to the studio. I'm in the back. And then this thing I know, Dre's like, man, it's so great meeting you, Faye. Man, you got some shit. Woo. He said, man, you want to hear it? I'm going to play it for you. He pressed play. And it was the motherfucking beat from 2007. Faye's flip that I gave to Tez gave to him. Same exact fucking beat. Shit. That's what fucked me up in the studio. 1,000%. Same motherfucking beat.
Brad, what?
Same motherfucking beat. I was like, what the fuck?
That's like a
Dre rapping on this shit. You gotta realize, bro,
crazy.
This A&R shit is not something that you can train for. You can't go to school for. There's something to hear something or to listen to somebody's advice and hear, man, that's dope. You right. All of that shit is A&R. You know what I'm saying?
Just having the ear to know.
All this shit is A&R. Literally, I remember getting a call from one of the homies that were at Atlantic, Gary Leon. He said, yo, we're looking for this record for Ty Dolla $ign, so he sent me this beat, all right? And they had sampled Candy, right? By Cameo, City to Forte. Forte wrote this record, and I like that. Okay, this sounds like something, you know. So he wrote this record and sent it back to them. They didn't really like it, right? Well, I ain't gonna say they didn't really like it. He was like, "Boom, play it for him, whatever case may be." So we was just on the waiting game. Forte called me like, "Man, Jacquees cut the record, man. I think we need to give it to Jacquees." This is before Jacquees was even hot. I'm like, "No, nigga, you can't get that record to Jacquees. We still waiting on these folks. I gotta have this is my reputation, my motherfucking relationship. So I don't want them to think that I just be shopping shit around, right?" Man, long story short, That record ended up being one of Jacquees' biggest records. It was the one that sampled the motherfucker. I'm gonna have to find it.
You gotta pull it up. Now you pull it up, think about this as far as making decisions. Right, like in that moment, you had a chance to say, "Oh yeah, give him the record, not give him the record." Like, how do you decide what you decide?
Shit, man. Like, it's hard. It's hard to kind of put your. It's an instinctual thing, man. You just feel a certain thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Come through.
Come through.
That was the name of it.
Come through.
Come through, nigga. Come through. That beat came from me giving it to Forte, and so like all of these things are happening through these processes, right? So it's very, very interesting. Like when you think about people's journeys, the connectivities of certain things, it'd be wild when you really start thinking about it. And so when you talk about travel, all of this stuff happened when I was traveling. You know what I'm saying? I met Gary, all them boys in Atlantic with Sean, Gary, all of them. I forgot Sean last name. They was all working out of LA because I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And only knew one person in LA at the time. That was Faye. And I was going back and forth to meet people, whatever case it may be, right? And so all of those decisions, all of those A&R decisions, all of that shit was part of like this trail of like funky money, like the foundation of, without knowing it.
The second time moving to LA, when was that?
It was the following year. So I failed 2014. Right. So like maybe like March 2015, I left, came back to Atlanta. I was like, well, my credit is fucked up. I gotta come back and try to rebuild my shit. So I came and hired like Lexington, fucking Freddie Fisher, whatever shit is. And so I was just at the crib, I was just stack my bread up, I was staying at my brother's crib. And then I got a call from Trey Pope. He was like, yo, we started this good music management shit. I like what you're doing. I don't want to take away from your business. I want to enhance your business, but I also want you to help me to build this new business. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll come out there and fuck with you. So that was probably like September 2015. Okay. So I moved back to LA. Well, I moved my second attempt was I ended up moving in September 2015.
And this time you had a job waiting on you.
Yeah, well, simultaneously. The paperwork hadn't even came through. I ended up getting an apartment, and Che called me like, "Yo, nigga, like, we ain't finished the deal yet." You moved. I was like, "Fuck it." I had already made my mind up. I was like, "I'm gonna have to figure out this $1,000 a month. If I can't get fed,
this job, you were determined to move to LA."
Yeah, 100%.
But why LA of all places?
Well, I didn't want to go to New York, boy. I was in between LA and New York in terms of like music industry and being able to move and shake. I was, fuck that, I'm going where the weather's good. I want to fuck with New York and rats and shit. People in New York different. They like stronger or something. I got super straight on that, but
you remember your first like New York meeting?
My first New York meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my first New York meeting. My first New York meeting, this is when I was working at Delta. I would call niggas up, I would like email niggas. I'm like, hey, I'm in New York. You want to meet? I got some music I want to play, whatever. And they was like, okay, cool. Then I booked the flight. Then I fly there for the day, take the meeting. And I think my first New York meeting was with I can't remember the name of the A&R, but he was R. Kelly A&R for the longest. Mm-hmm. I was taking a meeting with Cersei. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's first New York meeting I had.
I think that's the thing. It's like Ellie
Wayne Williams.
Wayne Williams. Okay.
That was the meeting.
But it seems like those are the two places you have to go. If you're making any money in music, you gotta go to New York or LA.
Not now. But at that point, yeah.
But I guess now, because you don't have to travel, well, I don't say you don't have to travel, you don't have to be in those cities. You don't have to be in those major hubs. But as technology progressed, how did you find that balance between like working your hustle online and then being in people's faces?
I think working the hustle online and being in people's faces make you a better executive. It makes you a better businessman or woman. And it makes you just a better, well-rounded person. Because what's happening with the new way that technology is happening and making the world smaller, but it's also making interpersonal relationships more distant because you have so much access faster so that you spend more time speaking to more people, but you won't spend more time building with one another. And so another thing on when you start talking about like fuck you money, the basis of it is a community thing. You know, when your community get fuck you money, you start seeing life differently. Because there's always one or two people out of the crew that kind of like blow up or they have something exceptional about them that attracts other people into that space, right? I recently read this case study about Jay-Z Decoded book and how Dragon 5, this ad agency, launched the book. And what they did in 2010, they took all of the 300 pages of the book and put them throughout the cities of all of the places that Jay-Z wrote about. Like where these lyrics was inspired at, right?
Right.
One of the lyrics was inspired in Vegas. And I remember seeing this video of Dame talking about Rockefeller Vegas trips and how Emery got his name as Vegas Jones.
Yeah.
And how he'd be hitting like 20,000 rolling dice.
Yeah.
Those group of people created something that where it was able to give everybody some level of fuck you money. Rather they stay with Hov, rather they stay with Dame. You think about shit now, like look at Cameron having a new hit show with Mace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Two of them had a situation with Puff, situation with Rockefeller.
Yeah.
All of it kind of went different way. Now we're talking about it's 2023.
Yeah.
They have a hit sports TV show.
Not even music related, right?
Not even music related. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about shit like that. That shit is like, it shows how impactful it is with community when you start talking about fuck your money, especially when people around like hustlers and they work hard. They're really trying to see how to connect those dots. You know what I'm saying?
I like the story about Fave because Fave is such an instrumental person in your journey as well. But I remember you telling me just about the first time you brought Brent out to LA, going to Fave studio and just working in Paradox, doing that whole project in Fave studio. He didn't charge you.
No.
And in response, you gave him a record. And you told him, hey, release this yourself. It's all in this book. See this book right here?
Yeah.
It's all stories in this book.
I'm actually mad about that too.
Wow.
I'm mad about that because that record was released in 2017. Right? Because 2016 we dropped Paradox. Crew came out that same year. 2017. Man, I was in a house with so many producers. I should have had every last one of them producers doing the same exact thing. I had about 7K $7 by now. Bad as hell.
Well, why? I guess, did you not, okay, what were you thinking when you gave it to Fave in particular? Like, the advice you gave Fave was to put it out under his name, featuring Brent Fayez. That advice you gave him, was it just because you wanted to show, like, support because he supported you? Like, did you have something in mind other than...
Well, my first thing was promote Brent Fayez.
Yeah.
And the second thing was, shit, Fave, you can have all the money because you helped us put these different things together.
Right.
But I wasn't thinking about promoting Fave. Right? Because at the time, I really wasn't managing producers. And I didn't understand the producer business the way I do now. Right? If I would have been like, yo, Fave, you put this record out, then boom, we're going to get one with BB, put this record out,
thing, right?
then Fave, boom, you're going to get one with Starra, because Fave put me on with Starra. He put me on a Chloe and Holly. They doing Chloe and Holly, going to put that out. He would have had a catalog of records on artists that, he'd been early on that people didn't really like know in that way. You know what I'm saying? So he would have had 10 records between 2017 and 18 if it would have just kept going.
And be looked at as a producer that's getting the early high new artists.
1000%.
You can't buy that kind of like recognition.
Nah, 1000%.
So you were thinking ahead, but you didn't see it all the way through.
Nah, 1000%. I did. Brandon Thomas was on it though. Brandon Thomas was super early on trying to put artists on his shit. He just wanted to be an artist and rap and sing. He would throw it off. But when he was just producing and just wanted to put the records out, he was on that shit early. This is like 2014.
And a great example of this is Metro just did the End of the Spider-Verse soundtrack. And it's under Metro Boomin. All these artists featuring Metro Boomin. So again, it's like that kind of business model is fully functioning now. But at the time, I don't think producers were really doing that.
Yeah. Now, Screaming was 2017. At the end of 2016, when the labels got the revenue that they had made in 2016, that's when they knew, Screaming is real. Mm-hmm. But people still hadn't caught on to it. We put that record out. Now today, that record for Fade is generating him so much money because of that seed that was planted. We're talking about 2007. That was 6 years ago.
The way he told it to me was at first the record was making $200. So then it would make $1,000. And he was like, it's paying the rent at my studio and at my crib now. Yeah. And that interview was 2019.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much money the record's making now, but I wanted to bring that up because Miguel Sure Thing just caught a whole second life, right? I think 12 years later.
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw that was going on? Did you think like, okay, the stream not only does it work, but it can revive old songs?
Well, I didn't see that. You just put it on something. Okay. But what I have seen is Lollipop. Lil Wayne Lollipop caught wind earlier this year on TikTok.
Really?
And resurfacing. One of the newer ones that resurfaced was Race Car by Tracy Chapman, because country artists had covered it. Country artists had covered it.
And it's a surge.
Yeah, it's a surge. But see, the thing about this, man, this whole thing, I figured out. I didn't figure it out because I knew what I was doing. I was just going off a certain instinct. But the only thing that I would have changed differently, and I don't even want to think about changing it differently, because it just probably would have messed up everything else. But the amount of music that I put out, I would have did a lot. When I was putting out music, you gotta think about like the end of 2016, put out Bring Home EP, put out a Summer single, put out a Wintertime record, put out Crew. Then the top of the year, January, put out Sunder Project, then put out the Language record in February. So I was putting out records. I would have put out way more records. You know what I'm saying? I put out way more records because the way that the records age, you know, especially when it's good records and you everybody's in this motion. You know what I'm saying? And so the thought process of it, I didn't know that it was so cost efficient. I thought that every time you put something out, you had to put some more money behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's the only thing, man. Just put out more records.
Would you advise people to do that now?
Yeah. It's because it's a catalog business. If you understand and you have this thought process, content is king. Even all this shit we doing right now, this is gonna turn into something that's gonna build up a catalog of intellectual property that we will be able to license. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to sit down and talking about these different journeys, inviting people into this world. You know what I'm saying? Creating a lifestyle around it, creating a merch around it. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna something is gonna hit. And when it hits, then it's gonna start feeding into what your catalog of things are. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, as long as something hits, right? Something hits, everything around it also catches a surge.
Yeah. It's the same thing about like LeBron. LeBron hit, all his friends caught it because they was prepared. They was willing to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake hit, all his friends was around him. You know what I'm saying? Like when something hit there, especially when a human hit, when a product hits, you know what I mean? It's that surge around it.
What was your first hit?
I mean, I would technically say my first hit was Crew, because that actually benefited my life. You know what I'm saying? But my first hit that I was around, that I was able to benefit from information, is to turn my swag up. Because natural disaster produced it. And at that time, the nigga that was managing natural disaster and that natural disaster was signed to, I was with all the time learning, right? And all those different things. So that was the first time that I saw like music. Like natural disaster was in college on a basketball scholarship, getting $10,000 like ASCAP checks every quarter or more. You probably get way more. Yeah, bro. That man was on a full scholarship in college at Kansas, at Kennesaw State.
You know, that wasn't even Soulja's first hit. That's Soulja's like, he on number 10 at that point. Yeah, but it just kind of shows, like, artists that stay in it and stay cutting records. Because I feel like when he kind of turned my swag on, this is coming after, like, a dry spell for Soulja. Like, he had already kissed me through the phone, he already cranked that, but it's not like he was dropping a hit every summer. But when he dropped one, when Soulja Boy catches a hit, he catches a hit. Yeah. So I think this is always something artists to remember is that all because something's dry now does not mean stop.
Man, everything's about going into the future. Everything's about owning your content. Executives are seeing creative ways on how they can turn their skill set into talent. Mm-hmm. Talent is turning into executives and being able to identify what business work for them, what don't work for them. Mm-hmm. And the truth of it all, everybody's really trying to get some fucking money.
Everybody wants. And for people that don't know, Ty, what is Fuck You Money?
Fuck You Money is a aggressive way of saying, I want to build a financial world around me that I can move myself from things that don't serve me. You know what I'm saying? It's a form of mental health. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if this don't work for me, I'll set myself up through community and through financial means that I can pull back from this and I don't have to do it.
Now, as your life has gotten more busy, had to kind of not only talk to more people, but have relationships with more people, work with more people, how have you protected your mental health through all these changes?
I think the biggest way that I've learned how to protect my mental health is let humans be humans. I think we put a lot of pressure and control on trying to control somebody to do what we want them to do. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just be like, shit, but that's what they want to do. It's cool. I'm like, you know, it's not put me in harm's way. I might not like the decision, or it might even mess up the business. I'm like, this is what it is. I ain't really tripping. So for me, my mental health really stands with like letting people be who they're gonna be. Cause then I can decide if I want to be involved in this shit or not. You know what I'm saying? And that's like my biggest way for my personal mental health. I don't want to be tripping on those different things. I tell every man, if you want to be exceptional in life here on earth, two things you got to do. There's no way you're going to get around these two things. One, you got to control your sex drive. You got to be able to control what you do with your dick. Two, you got to relinquish all control that you want to have over it. And if you work your ass off and you do those two things, you're going to see success way differently than anybody in your family. Because men's biggest downfall is that they try to control women in certain ways. They can't resist a woman. You know what I'm saying? And women's biggest downfall in our community is that they don't invest into the right black man. You know what I'm saying? Because the heart is the heart. So the heart take you down these treacherous lanes. Now you in the bed with this controlling ass nigga. He ain't going nowhere fast. You ain't going nowhere slow. You know what I'm saying? And it's just what it is. That's a part. So yes, that shit.
So you turned 39 this year.
Yep.
In your 39 years of life, what is the biggest lesson? Other than, you just gave me the gem, but just for you personally, like in your journey, what have you learned that you still apply to your life every day?
Anger management. I learned anger management in 2014. No, 2004. 2004. That's my biggest lesson in 39 years. 2004. I learned anger management. When I learned anger management, that's when I started understand life and my progression better. Because when you learn a skill set like that, you elongate your life span because you don't find yourself in situations that you'll be tricky and you'll get locked up and get shot, murdered, whatever the case may be. Then your heart rate, blood pressure, all that shit is always manageable. Mm-hmm. Then you can make very clear decisions about how you want your life to be. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest lesson, my is anger management.
So I was going through my library. I saw this book. I gotta bring it up.
Oh man!
Ask you about.
It's like the third book I've read in my life, from cover to cover. 2011.
So break that down for me. Where did you find this book? This is *10 of America* by Steve Stout. If you don't have a copy, please go get you one.
You got to.
It's
funny. A woman gifted me this book.
Oh, that was gifted to you?
So I was dating this woman. I was working at Delta. It's my first year at Delta. She was in Little Rock, Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And she must have heard me talking about the book. And so I flew into Little Rock one. I just go there probably 3 times a month, right? I'm going to Little Rock, Arkansas. She was in the military. And I get to the car and she got the book. I was like, oh shit, you must have heard me talking about it. So that's how I got the book.
That's hard.
Yeah.
And you read it cover to cover.
I read that motherfucker cover to cover.
Now, what about this book captivated you?
I was already a fan. I need to reread it because it's been so long ago. I need to reread it. I was always a fan of the commission. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, just like some of the ideas.
There's a lot of information and history in this book about hip hop, about marketing, about how Steve Stout executed deals. There's a lot of people relationships in there. Yeah. And I love the book because it starts you at his point of entry into the world, but also hip hop's point of entry into the world, and how this global, before it became a global phenomenon, just the way it was in New York City and how it moved from New York to the world. And the way he saw it too, not only did he believe that hip hop was going to be global, he believed that hip hop could enter the marketplace of fashion, of liquor, of McDonald's. It didn't matter where your company was, you could insert hip hop there. And not only be profitable, you'd be cool. Yeah. Stout understood the power of being cool.
Man, 100%. I mean, it's not a hilarious nigga too. But reading this book and this book, the reason I want to go back and read it again, because all of these concepts relate to today. That's what makes a book great. You think about reading it and you realize
it's very relevant. There's a part there about selling mindsets and not selling product.
Yeah. That
I thought was extremely, just as a concept, just as a phrase, I thought that was something that you can take with you anywhere.
Yeah. And it's gonna be crazy. Like the Culture Playbook Volume 2 is gonna be so hard because I'm so inspired. Mm-hmm. This year I'm gonna finish writing it in Africa.
Mm-hmm. Why are you so inspired right now?
I think that it's a turn of it's a new .com boom happening, with AI, with blockchain, with Web3, with how the independent mind, transfer of wealth. There's so many different things happening from you seeing superstar talent becoming executives and coming out and talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was looking at this interview about Chameleon and how his brain was functioning. You know what I'm saying? When you got somebody like that that's functioning like that with their brain, you're talking about a different level of growth potential. You know what I'm saying?
I just saw him in a commercial.
Yeah.
A commercial with him. And just understanding everything he's been doing, it's just like, wow. You might have had one song in like 2007 that was huge, but like you weren't just a rapper.
Yeah.
You were so much more. It's all of you.
Yeah. I gotta figure it out, but we gotta go do Funky Money in Saudi.
In Saudi?
My mans know they got a crazy studio. It's like 22 studios. They got like 6 podcast rooms, all that shit. So I'm gonna hit it. He gonna be one of the interviews. I'm gonna hit it. Mm-hmm. Y'all wanna interview you for our show. We're gonna go out there.
Saudi. Got 20.
We're gonna probably go out there like October when they call it the music season. When they ain't hot.
Okay. So they got a music season.
Yeah, that's like October, November. But it's gonna be that flight is like 19 hours.
19 hours.
Yeah. That flight is a hike.
What's your longest flight?
Huh?
Your longest flight?
Longest flight was to Sydney. No, the longest flight was to Bali. No, I'm lying because I broke it up 5 days. My longest flight was to Cape Town. I had 22 hours. I layover in Paris. From LA to Paris, from Paris to Cape Town.
I know you usually sleep on flights, but that's a long flight. Like,
I slept. I slept the whole way.
The whole way?
Yeah, I slept. Something wrong with me. Nobody don't both sleep like that on the flight. I'm terrified. I think I'm terrified. I just don't realize.
I would sleep on the flight.
I be trying to get work done. That shit bad, bro. I'm ashamed.
20 hours is crazy.
Yeah, 20 hours is crazy. So yeah, I look forward to like season 2. Like the type of people that I want to interview. Literally, I'm going to all of the wild sporting events. It's this black woman that I just met. I don't want to fuck her name up, but she has won like 3 soccer championships, professional league. She's an own talent. On-screen talent. She does. She covers like soccer globally. She's in London. I'm gonna interview her. I'm gonna hit her to see. We're probably gonna interview her in November because we're gonna do Funky Money in Vegas doing Formula 1.
You did Formula 1 recently, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
Formula 1 is loud. It's loud. Loud ass cars going in circles.
What got you into
It
Formula
was
1?
a great experience though.
What got you into it?
I'm going to every sporting event I can think of. Racing horses, right? I'm going to see everything. Tennis, everything. Because now I'm just inspired to see how people live in different worlds. They're all interconnected. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm studying for my NFL certification and we building the sports business, we be talking about this. This is just another piece of like lifestyle content. Mm-hmm. It's wellness content, but it also don't have lifestyle component to it.
But there's a willingness to entering new environments and seeing how people operate.
100%.
Man, that's very cool. What was the first event that you went to that you were like, I don't know nothing about this?
Formula 1.
Formula 1.
Yeah, and tennis.
And tennis?
Tennis.
Where at?
In Palm Springs. Ain't no shit about that. Just hitting that ball fast and saying, yeah, I'm finna go to the U.S. Open in L.A. Golfing. I'm gonna do my first golfing class, my first golfing like outing in L.A. June 24th. I gotta go buy some shit. You know what I'm saying? Golfing shit.
So you've never golfed before?
No, I've only did put top golf.
That does not count.
I know it don't count. But in my mind, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that shit might translate. It might translate. I think I'm gonna be good at golf.
You got the focus.
They better not let me be good at golf.
You got the focus for it.
Listen, nigga. Y'all niggas better let me be good at golf. I'm gonna be mopping these old niggas on the court.
I wanna roll back real fast and go back to this book. How old were you when you touched it, and who was that tie?
2011. 2011, I read this book in October 2011. That was 12 years ago. So that means that I was 27. And shit, I was hustling. I really was doing the same shit.
Yeah, right.
I was traveling. I think like a month, I got this book a month prior. I was coming from Brazil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Sao Paulo. I haven't been to Brazil yet, but I'm going back to Brazil because I met a nigga that's the head of World Surfing League. I didn't even know they had a league.
You start surfing.
I'm not gonna go surf, but I'm definitely going to a competition. I gotta hit them up so I can go ahead and like line up all of that.
That's fine. That's so hard. So I guess at 27, did you imagine your life being like this now?
Nah, I think as black men, we don't plan to live long. So it's hard for us. It was really hard for me to see past 40 when I was in my 20s. Like I just couldn't, it wouldn't register like to see past 40 and 50 and shit like that. It's like you don't think about that shit because you lose people so fast, so early, so consistently. You read about it happening so consistently, people that look like us. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of white people that die before they're 30. But we don't see it the way that we see it when we die.
And maybe also because we see so many white people as old people.
1,000%.
You know, I mean, as the majority, you see them everywhere.
Yeah.
But there's a sense that, like, if you think about how that artist collected the 27 Club, people that died at 27. A lot of those people are white, but you don't really hang on to that. Like, I'm afraid to get past 27.
Yeah.
You know, that just seems to be very particular people. When you're black, you're a very particular person to make it past 18. Yeah. You know, so I do think that there is something about. So there's something to what you're saying because I don't think I imagined. I can't imagine 35 sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta stay inspired.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. I'm just staying inspired.
But if you had to say something to 27-year-old Ty,
nothing.
You gonna say nothing?
Nah, because it'll fuck up whatever happened right now.
That's true.
Nothing. I'm saying nothing, that nigga. Let him keep doing what he doing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, obviously it worked out.
It's working.
It's working.
We're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's all we got for the recap.
For the recap.
Yeah. This the precursor before the
right.
Before the real stuff started.
Well, you wanna sign up for anything?
No, I think that, this is gonna be a more visual season.
Okay.
You're gonna see a lot more moving around and not just sitting still.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And really, really trying to capture some really unique individuals that we want to interview that's doing things that has brought funky money into their life. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm excited about.
Tell them about the book.
Oh yeah, man, you gotta go get the Culture Playbook, volume 1. You know what I'm saying? Shameless plug. We've been, it's crazy. Like, I think we probably sold about 400 books.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. I think about 400. I haven't did it. I stopped. When you own something, and you know it's available, you just stop counting. Like, you did like the first week thing. First weeks.
The first sellout.
No, and then boom with it, but eventually, one of these famous motherfuckers gonna talk about it, and then it's gonna go to the top bestseller list.
That's 400 independent books.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. But anything like out of Trump.
Actually, out of Trump. Yeah, it's a mixtape.
Definitely a mixtape. It's definitely a mixtape.
Not just because we're trying to sell more books, but we're trying to spread more knowledge. I think there's a lot of knowledge in that book. So. And
make sure you gotta pick
get tenant.
Go get tenant of America, man. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't selfish with ourselves.
The homies, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and
shout out to Stout.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can go get a book on thecultureplaybook.com. You can go to Amazon. Eventually we're gonna scrap one of these big publishing deals. Somebody gonna come in and give us a bag, you're gonna be able to get it there too. Or you can pull up on me. We usually have some of them on us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna load up Atlanta and have them in the storage unit.
Yes, sir.
So we ain't gotta keep paying them high shipping rates.
Man, them shipping is crazy.
For them 10 pieces, 20 pieces. But yeah, that's how we can wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
See y'all in the next episode.
Y'all gonna see us next episode.
Yeah, fuck you, man. You know what I'm saying?